You live 12 floors above the street. The elevator is dead. Your dog needs to go outside, your phone is already running low, and most of your emergency supplies are locked inside your car in the parking garage. By the end of this video, you'll know how to prepare for an elevator shutdown without filling your apartment with expensive survival gear, and how to avoid the mistake that can leave even well-prepared renters trapped far from the supplies they thought would protect them. A few minutes earlier, the lights flickered and the air conditioner stopped. Now the hallway is dim, neighbors are opening their doors, and pressing the elevator button does absolutely nothing. On a normal day, the elevator feels like a convenience. During a blackout, fire alarm, severe storm, or mechanical failure, it can become the missing link between you and everything you need. The stairs may look like the obvious backup, but going down 12 floors is only part of the problem. You may need to come back up while carrying water, groceries, a frightened pet, supplies for an older relative, or a child who is already tired. That is why your plan should begin with a realistic question. What could you safely carry through the stairwell without exhausting yourself or losing your balance? Not everything that might be useful. Not a giant bag packed for every possible disaster. Just the items you would need to move safely, stay informed, and manage the first hours of an emergency. A compact bag kept near the door usually makes more sense than a heavy survival kit buried at the back of a closet. It should contain a flashlight or headlamp, a charged power bank, drinking water, basic first aid supplies, important contact information, keys, identification, and the essential personal items your household depends on. A headlamp is especially useful in an apartment building because it keeps both hands free. That matters when you are holding a railing, opening a heavy stairwell door, controlling a pet, or carrying a small bag. But do not overload it. A bag that looks impressive on the floor can become a serious burden after several flights of stairs. The best emergency bag is not the one with the most equipment. It is the one you can actually carry when the elevator is unavailable. And that only solves half the problem because many apartment residents make a much less obvious mistake. They keep the right supplies in the wrong place. A case of bottled water in your car may feel like preparation, but it does not help much when you are 15 floors above the parking garage. The same is true for a power station stored in a basement locker, a flashlight left in the vehicle, or an emergency kit hidden behind boxes you would have to move in the dark. You do not need to keep your entire emergency supply inside the living room. Instead, divide your equipment according to where it will be needed. The apartment should contain what allows you to function during the first several hours without immediately going downstairs. That usually includes reliable lighting, phone charging, some drinking water, simple ready-to-eat food, basic first aid, and a way to receive information. Larger reserves can remain elsewhere, but your first response should not depend on reaching your vehicle or storage unit. This is one reason compact equipment works so well for renters. A rechargeable lantern can light a room without draining your phone. A charged power bank can keep communication available. A small emergency radio can provide updates if internet service becomes unreliable. Each item should perform a clear job. You are not trying to recreate a garage full of equipment inside a small apartment. You are trying to remove the few failures that can make an ordinary outage much harder. I placed a practical list of compact apartment emergency equipment in the pinned comment. It is organized by the problem each item solves, so you can compare what fits your apartment without buying a pile of unnecessary gear. But the biggest failure is not always the equipment itself. It is what happens when your phone becomes your flashlight, map, contact list, news source, and only connection to the building, all at the same time. During the beginning of an outage, your phone may still work normally. That can create a false sense of security. You check messages, search for updates, use the flashlight, watch videos, and refresh social media. Then, when you actually need to contact someone, the battery is nearly gone. Use a separate flashlight instead of leaving the phone light on. Lower the screen brightness, close unnecessary applications, and avoid checking for updates every few minutes unless the situation is changing. A power bank should already be charged. An empty battery pack in a drawer is not emergency power. It is only another device that needs electricity. You should also keep essential phone numbers written on paper. Include building management, nearby relatives, trusted neighbors, caregivers, and anyone who may need assistance. It sounds old-fashioned until a dead phone removes every number you assumed you knew. A small emergency radio can give you another source of information during a wider blackout or severe weather event. It does not replace official building instructions, but it prevents one device from becoming the single point of failure in your entire plan. Now ask yourself something most renters never test. Could everyone in your apartment actually use the stairs? That includes older adults, anyone with limited mobility, young children, and pets that may panic in a dark, crowded stairwell. These situations should not be improvised after the elevator stops. Before an emergency, contact building management and ask how residents who cannot easily use stairs are expected to receive assistance. Find out whether the property has designated waiting areas, backup communication systems, emergency procedures, or staff responsibilities. Every building is different. That is exactly why guessing is dangerous. A trusted neighbor on the same floor can also become part of a simple support plan. That person may be able to share updates, check on someone who lives alone, or contact staff if phone service is unreliable. Do not try to carry another person down multiple flights of stairs without proper training and equipment. A fall could injure both of you and create another emergency. The safer approach is to know the building procedure, communicate the person's location, and wait for trained assistance when necessary. Pets need their own version of this plan. A dog that walks calmly every day may become nervous around alarms, darkness, and groups of people. A cat that normally tolerates being held may struggle the moment the hallway becomes loud and unfamiliar. Keep the leash, secure harness, carrier, and collapsible water bowl somewhere you can reach immediately. A carrier hidden behind luggage is not accessible when you need to leave quickly, and there is a simple test that can reveal problems before an emergency ever happens. Walk from your apartment to the ground floor using the stairs on a normal day. You do not need to turn it into a dramatic evacuation drill. Just pay attention. How long does it take? Which doors lock behind you? Where does the final exit lead? Can your pet manage the route? Is the stairwell well lit? Would anyone in your household struggle after several floors? Check the emergency information posted inside your building. Stairwell access, door locks, exit routes, and assistance procedures can vary between properties. Knowing your actual building is more useful than memorizing a generic checklist. But there is another detail people often discover too late. When the elevator stops, it may not be the only system affected. Hallway lighting may be reduced. Electronic access systems may behave differently. Building staff may be handling several problems at once. Residents may crowd the lobby or stairwell while trying to understand what is happening. Your plan should not depend on one perfect exit, one person answering the phone, or one device remaining charged. You need 3 simple layers. First, you should be able to remain safely inside the apartment for a reasonable period. Second, you should be able to move through the building with a small, manageable bag. Third, you should know who to contact and where to receive reliable instructions. This layered approach also helps you avoid unnecessary trips. During a temporary elevator failure, walking down 15 floors just to see what happened can leave you with the much harder task of climbing back up. Before leaving, decide whether the trip is necessary and whether you are prepared to remain downstairs if the elevator does not return quickly. Even when you expect to be gone for only a few minutes, take your phone, keys, identification, flashlight, and essential personal items. A quick trip to the lobby can turn into a longer wait than expected. Preparation does not mean treating every elevator failure like a catastrophe. It means recognizing how several small inconveniences can combine into one exhausting problem. Now return to that apartment 12 floors above the street. The elevator is still dead, but your phone is connected to a charged power bank. A lantern is lighting the room. Your compact bag is beside the door, your dog's harness is ready, and you already know where the stairwell leads. You are not searching through closets in the dark or wondering how to reach the supplies locked inside your car. The elevator may be unavailable, but it no longer controls your entire emergency plan. What floor do you live on, and what would be the hardest part of losing elevator access? Tell me in the comments, then subscribe to Prep Logic for practical emergency planning designed for real homes, limited space, and normal budgets.